Just hit me with the truth. No, girl, you're more than welcome to. So give me one good reason, baby, come on. I live for you and me, and now I really come to see that life would be much better once you're gone. I know that I can't take no more. It ain't no lie. I wanna see you out that door, baby. Bye, bye, bye. Don't wanna be a fool for you. Just another player in your game for two. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie. Bye, bye, bye. Don't really wanna make it tough. I just wanna tell you that I've had enough. Might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie. Bye, bye, bye. I'm giving up, I know for sure. I don't wanna be the reason for your love no more. Bye bye. Tired of signing enough. I don't wanna be a loser and I've had enough. I don't wanna be a fool in this game for two. So I'm leaving you behind. Bye bye. I don't wanna make it time. I've had enough, and it ain't no lie. Bye bye. Don't wanna be a fool for you. Just another player in your game for two. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie. Bye bye bye. Don't really wanna make it tough. I just wanna tell you that I've had enough. Might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie. Bye bye bye.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? That actually, I had never heard that version of that song either until today. I love NSYNC, but I wanted something a little more edgy. So that is by an artist named Rain Paris. She has 610,000 subs, and that song has 1.4 million views. So actually, I can put the link in chat if anyone wants to listen to it again. But I mean, I like that version a lot. Excuse me. So thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. I didn't really know what I was going to talk about today. I was trying to find a starting point, and I kept getting messages today about fairy tales, and I was like, oh, really? Fairy tales, you say? So we're going to talk about fairy tales, specifically parasocial fairy tales, because it seems like a lot of terms are being thrown around in these YouTube spheres, trauma bonding, hate bonding, parasocial fairy tales, and nothing about this YouTube world is parasocial. It's not. Parasocial is one-sided, and I don't believe anything that happens here, especially if you have some type of conversation with someone. It's not parasocial. Parasocial relationships are when the other party doesn't know you exist. So, for example, Adam Lambert. I am a huge fan of Adam Lambert. I thought, I would marry him. He would no longer be gay, and I would marry him. That is parasocial. Why? Because Adam Lambert doesn't know I exist. He doesn't know that I'm a person on this earth. YouTube, not parasocial. So I'm not sure if, the person talking about these fairy tales is trying to convince themselves, or if they're trying to drive a narrative that isn't true. Either way, we're going to talk about it. So what I had initially planned on talking about, I was a little bit impulsive when I made the thumbnail. So yes, it is a little bit clickbaity, but I didn't even see this coming, to be honest. So there we go. That's what we're going to do. So let me say hi first, and then we'll get into it. So Steph B, thanks for being here. Queen Bella, Evil Queen, happy birthday to your daughter. Southern gal. Okay, so the poll, I will explain the poll in a moment. I will explain that in a moment. Pretty Sky Blue Eyes, thanks for being here. Lunatic, as always. Lost Lily, good to see you. Nanny Sharon. Angie, thanks for being here. Maria the Mena, I appreciate you being here. I know you've got lots of duties going on today. Rockabit, good to see you. Just scrolling quick. The Adventures of Ford Fairlane? I've never heard of that. Did you just make that up, or is that actually a real story? All right, so I got through chat. There's not many people here. I know there's a lot of things going on. I haven't really kept up with the drama or any of that. I've been trying to stay away from YouTube as much as I can. I did, however, hear that B is again using, other creators' children who have passed as, I don't know why she's doing it, because she has nothing better, like no other good comebacks. Like, let them rest in peace. Like, did her family never tell her you should never speak ill of the dead? I mean, it just seems so crass to me. So I did see that was going on, and I think it's repulsive, even though I, don't get along with one of those people. It's still not okay, and it shouldn't happen. And that's really all I've seen. I mean, I did see Nunya went live, but I haven't been able to watch the entire replay yet. I did start listening to it today. I've gotten some snippets from my former co-host, but other than that, I haven't really seen anything. So I just think that, I don't know, this whole thing has kind of put things into perspective a little bit. And, I keep thinking back to that live stream that I did a couple of weeks ago, where it wasn't my plan to talk about any of it. And unfortunately, it ended up happening. So, can't change it. I stand on what I said. It was the truth. And, reflecting back, I can see where, even though the other person thinks it was a fairy tale, I can see where things were getting dicey much earlier than recently. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But Lunatic says, the last few months have been quite eye-opening and heartbreaking for so many people. That is very true. But, I saw this video today from Medea, of all people. And one of the things that Medea said was, some people are meant to last a lifetime. Others are meant to only be a chapter in your life. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? Because, yeah, if you want to describe it as a fairy tale, like, yeah, there's that belief that when you meet someone and you're friends for a significant amount of time, that it's gonna be a lifetime. And then it's not. So I wouldn't say that's a fairy tale. It's not this belief that is imaginary or unrealistic, because, as I said, like, all of this is real. It's all real life. And in the one person who always says that, like, YouTube, this is my real life. They're now saying that this YouTube stuff is a fairy tale, and a parasocial one at that. So, oh, I like that, Bella. Some are in your life for a reason and some just for a season. I actually like that a lot. Rockabit says, I don't like chapters when I really care for someone. And that's the hardest thing. Because did I expect it to go down the way it did? Absolutely not. And I tried not to myself, I tried not to speak on any of it publicly. I did go on panel and I thought, things were better, not great, but better. And they just didn't get better. And then, when you send a text message to someone right before they're going live, and I think I gave that person exactly what they wanted. They wanted me to do what I did. And I should have just taken a breath, or I should have just said, I can't do this live stream right now. I'll be back later. But I didn't. So Nanny says, some people will try and spin a narrative, but you can't hide from the truth. The truth is always there no matter what. Yeah, it is. And, people always say, and it's not really, this isn't really the analogy for what's happening, but people say, what is done in the dark always comes to light. And when you're trying to, and this is all speculative, it's my opinion. I don't know what other people are thinking. But at face value, what I see happening is someone trying to deny what was happening, what was real. They're looking at it as what happened in the last few weeks. And yeah, I can see where the last few weeks were really shitty and explosive. But it doesn't change what happened before that. And, I've seen some posts of, my online stalker channel is like, you're not moving on. You keep doing these community wall posts. Like, that's a way for me to like get feelings out, and it's not for anybody but me. That's why I do what I do. It's for me. It's not for anybody else, because I don't expect the other people to even look at it or relate to it. It's for me. So, if you think things are about you, then great. I hope it makes you feel better. But most of the things I post are not about anybody else but me, like what I'm feeling. And maybe someone else out there that might see it is like, hey, I kind of feel like that too. Like the short videos I do. CapCut has a bunch of templates, and I just keep scrolling until I find one that is like, whoa, that's actually how I'm feeling right now. So I, make a video and post it. And there's people who have commented that I don't know who they are, but they saw it and it resonated with them. So isn't that what we're here for on social media, is to somehow make a difference or impact people that we may not have done otherwise? I wouldn't have known any of you in real life. You know what I mean? And this in some respects is a way to express things. I wouldn't say without judgment, because there's a lot of judgy people on the internet. But sometimes it's easier to say things when you're not face to face with other people. I don't like confrontation, so having all of these things come out on a public platform in front of hundreds of people, to me that's conflict. So I go and hide. I don't really talk. I don't engage. I just go away. Obviously I did go on the panel because I'm like, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Marie says, no one cares. Oh, I wasn't talking about anyone specific, but Bella says everyone else is allowed to express feelings, but others aren't. I'm not going to get into, I mean, there's a live stream that I've wanted to do, but I've had a couple of my mods say you probably shouldn't go there. So I'm not going to go there yet. Maybe in the future, but hindsight is 2020. And I knew at times, you know, things weren't, I don't know how to say it, like I knew that my gut was telling me something and I ignored it. And then it just got stronger and stronger from there. And the one thing I will say is that I wouldn't have found my voice if not for that text message that came to me right before my live stream that I did. I would have never, ever said those things, publicly at least. So, I mean, sometimes impulsive decisions lead to others finding their voice. Let's see, what else is going on in chat? And then we're going to get into, what exactly is a parasocial fairy tale, because I think it was said at least twice, if not 3 times, the fairy tale. So, that makes me wonder, like, who are you trying to convince that it was a fairy tale? Everybody who's been here for the past several years knows that it wasn't a fairy tale. So actually, let me look first. I actually did not look up the definition of just a fairy tale. I looked up the definition of a parasocial fairy tale because there is a definition for that. Okay, so a fairy tale, by definition, is a traditional story featuring magical elements and mythical creatures. It frequently serves as a metaphor for an It frequently serves as a metaphor for an improbable or highly idealized situation. The term can also refer to the title of popular Japanese manga and anime series. Key elements. They typically involve magic, enchantments, talking animals, and imaginary beings like goblins, fairies, or dragons. Okay, well, we could say there are some goblins on these YouTube streets, but realistically, there are no goblins, correct? Themes. They often focus on a hero's journey, the battle between good and evil, and end with a moral or a, quote, happily ever after. Okay, so, I mean, that's one thing that's being said, is that many people wanted this happily ever after. Okay, I'll give it that. And then famous examples would be Cinderella, Snow White, and Jack and the Beanstalk. Figuratively, okay, so this is where, that was the literary. So figuratively, or colloquially, the phrase is used to describe an event or relationship that is unexpectedly ideal or storybook perfect. Examples: a fairy tale romance or a fairy tale ending. Conversely, it can be used dismissively to describe a lie, a fabrication, or an unrealistic account. Interesting. So, am I being called a liar? Am I being called out for fabricating or having an unrealistic account of what happened in front of hundreds of people? I mean, does that even make sense? Like, people saw it with their own eyes. So how can it be fabricated or unrealistic? Okay. So that is what a fairy tale is. So now if we move to a parasocial fairy tale, because that's what currently is being referred to. Hey, Team Adam Lamb. Are you Team Adam Lambert? Are you trolling me? Are you trolling me? Are you Team Brit? Hey, I think I said hi to KCG. Caudle, thanks for being here. Anybody else who is here, thanks for being here. If I missed you, I apologize. Angie says, I try to be nice and let things go, but some people bring the witch out of me. Yeah, I try not to be a witch online. I try not to be like that. I was like that for some time, absolutely. And I realized, oh, it is you, Team Brit? Oh my gosh, you're something else. Hey, Pookie. I just lost my train of thought because Team Brit distracted me with that. And you're going to have that name for 14 days, you know. You're going to have that name for 14 days. Dang it. I lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me. Rockabit says there's never a perfect relationship. It is always a work in progress, and some work harder than others. Yes. And I mean, I have my thoughts and my own interpretations of why it happened. But as I said, I'm not going to go there right now. I'm going to keep those thoughts to myself. Okay, so going to, since I can't remember what I was talking about, going to the definition of a parasocial fairy tale, because there is a definition to that. A parasocial fairy tale is a modern phenomenon where a fan constructs a deeply intimate, quote, happily ever after fantasy romance with a celebrity, influencer, or fictional character. Often fueled by social media, this one-sided dynamic blurs the line between public persona and soulmate, building an illusion of mutual love. Oh, and there's more. Give me 1 second. I didn't realize there was more. While humans have always connected with media, modern technology, like constant live streams, curated social media feeds, and fan communities, turbocharges these attachments. Here's how the modern, quote, parasocial fairy tale typically unfolds. Okay, so they have a few things here. 1. The lure of curated intimacy. Because public figures share their daily lives, skincare routines, and favorite brands online, fans feel they know them intimately. This creates a false sense of balance. The fan knows everything about the influencer, leading to an unconscious belief that the influencer is reciprocating feelings. 2. The trap of limerence. This intense emotional attachment can morph into limerence, a state of involuntary, obsessive romantic infatuation. The fan projects their ideal traits, morals, and relationship goals onto the celebrity, essentially treating them as a fairy tale protagonist rather than a real, flawed human being. 3. The climax of disillusionment. The fairy tale shatters when the public figure acts out of character or deviates from the fantasy. Whether it is discovering their real-life partner, voicing an unpopular opinion, or simply being caught having a bad day, the reality of who they are breaks the illusion and causes genuine heartbreak. Okay, so that, I could kind of see that, but voicing an unpopular opinion tends to stand out. And I mean, it did say, you know, the public figure acts out of character or deviates from the fantasy. I mean, I could see that, but again, this wasn't one-sided. It wasn't one-sided. So then it goes on. The last thing it says is, for most, these attachments are harmless. In fact, many experts note that having parasocial connections with characters or celebrities acts as a springboard for creativity, helping adolescents form their identities and allowing adults to connect with other fans in supportive communities. However, as online discussions on the platforms like Reddit highlight, problems arise when fans feel a sense of entitlement to the celebrity's life choices or expect them to behave exactly as scripted in the fan's imagination. So, could we say that social media creators or live streamers are celebrities. Because what was it? Celebrities or... Because I don't see myself as a celebrity at all. Okay, so celebrity, influencer, or fictional character. And the main thing is that it is one-sided. It is one-sided. So, in my opinion, maybe a lot of the viewers did want the fairy tale because it was, their side, but the relationship itself was not a parasocial fairy tale, which is what it's being referred to. And, to each their own. If that's what you're trying to convince yourself of or what you're trying to convince others of, so be it. But those who have been around for a while know exactly what's up. So I did also find an article that kind of talks about parasocial relationships, specifically with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Okay. So this was from August of 2025. It says parasocial relationships, the psychology behind fans' fascination with Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce's engagement. Excitement and rejoicing continue over the engagement of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Millions of strangers are wrapped up in their love story. The question is why? Psychologists say this is about something called parasocial relationships, feeling close to a stranger. Swift has helped foster that because she shares personal feelings in her music. It's the relationship that's captivated the country. Swift and Kelce have made their engagement official, posting their pictures on social media. Many fans are celebrating the enchanted moment for two people who most have never met. There has been an online tidal wave of congratulations, text messages, excitement, and it has to do with sharing this collective experience of an engagement. Psychologists say you don't have to have direct experience with something to feel it deeply. Since many fans grew up listening to Swift, they can relate to her. And after years of singing about love, it seems she's finally found it. So the one thing this article said was, where is it? For two people who most have never met. So that I can see. Like, I have never met any of you. So could that be considered parasocial based on this? Yes, it could. However, I don't think that the majority of people who are feeling this connection to Taylor Swift and or Travis Kelce have ever spoken to them outside of just seeing them in concert or, seeing their videos, things like that. Because when you have a two-way conversation, that becomes an interpersonal relationship, not a parasocial relationship. At least that's, oh my gosh. Thank you for getting rid of that dumb person. And I'm pretty sure that's Queen Bee, so... Or Burnt Toast. I think it might be Burnt Toast, to be honest. Freaking idiot. Oh my gosh. And I mean, there is no relationship there, but whatevs. Can you even paint, bro? Yeah, someone is showing their maturity. You know what? And I hate to do this, but I'm going to do it. Oh. I already did it. Okay, never mind. Okay. Where did I leave off? Oh, here. Okay. So it says, it gives people hope that if they believe and have experienced heartbreak, they too can experience an engagement or a fairy tale ending that they are hoping for. It's what psychologists call a parasocial relationship, a one-sided connection to someone you don't know, and social media aided the fan fascination. In this case, they announced the engagement on Instagram in the same way that a friend would. Our brains don't distinguish between a friend's post and a celebrity's. So there we go. There we go. Lily says, I missed it. Idiot error. That's all right. I have a screenshot. Are you even grown up, dude? I know. I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know. I thought it was B, but Burnt Toast had the same post on her community page as that profile. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so that is parasocial. So it has nothing to do, and to kind of talk about that comment, and I'll read the comment because they clearly want some attention. So it says, you still can't get over so-and-so in so-and-so new relationship. First of all, that other person is not a predator. So you need to get that right away. That is one thing I will say. They are not a predator. They're not going after anyone's children. That is the most obscene thing that I have heard. Well, not the most obscene. One of the most obscene things I've heard. I've been hearing a lot of obscene things lately. But to construct that narrative to make yourself seem like a victim, and personally, if I had children and I felt that someone was targeting my children, there's no way in hell I'm going to tell my kids that. Like, that is something you should not be telling your kids about what's going on online. I feel like as a parent, you should try to protect your kids, not tell them that there may be someone online that's stalking them. Because one, it's not true. And two, that seems pretty fucked up to tell your kids that. You should keep things from them, not tell them things. I don't get it. Hey Cash, what's going on? Somebody just spit. What does it say? I just spit my chocolate out. Oh, I don't know what I said. Or what somebody else said. Okay, so there's that. So then it goes on to say, gosh, you're one weird individual to say the least. Well, here's the thing. I'd rather be weird than ordinary. So there's that. And you're the weird one for coming in here to make that comment. I mean, don't you have your own channel that you made that you could post on your community? Actually, you know what? Let me go see if they posted anything. They want attention. Let's give this person some attention. Poor little person. All right, let's see. Oh, and they're an official account. Wow. That would make things easier. I mean, that's an awfully long name. Oh, here it is. 92 subscribers. Wow. Oh, they shared a video from my online stalker channel. That's nice. Let's see what else they got on here. Okay, so they haven't really posted too much. They posted something going after Shady. Wow. I'm reporting this post. Yeah, I said it. Hate speech. Man, they're just following our every move. Following our every move. Okay, so enough about them. Who's sending me messages? Let's see. Give me 1 second, please. Oh my gosh. Oh, my computer is frozen. All right, let's see. Just want to check and make sure. Oh, is that who you think it is, Steph? Ah, okay. Okay. 92 personalities. Oh, Coddle said don't give him attention. Well, I gave him a little bit of attention, but I wasn't going to show their page. They've been around for a long time. Okay, so speaking of, I just saw Doodle's comment. So the poll that I made was, would you rather do the right thing and cause havoc or do the wrong thing and keep peace? So the reason I wrote that is because I'm weird, as we now know I'm weird. Shocker, right? Because what I meant by that is, would you speak up against something that wasn't necessarily true, or would you speak your truth knowing that it was going to cause issues? Or would you not speak up and not use your voice to keep the peace? So that's what that poll meant. Because it's my opinion that because I found my voice, that's why what happened. I wasn't going to stand by anymore and just, I wasn't going to stand by it. And I think some of the things that I've heard as of late, saying certain things as fact becomes defamation. And some of the things that are being said are just so egregious and vile. I don't know. I don't know how people can just say things that they say and be okay with it. Cash says, cause havoc or peace. Well, that's not always in one's own control if comments are misinterpreted. That is true. But I'm saying, like, more on a personal level, like if you spoke up about something and then it caused, chaos or havoc, regardless of how it was interpreted. Or would you say, okay, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want confrontation. I don't want, the fallout that may come with it. It's kind of like the great, and I can't think of the law, like the bystander. Is that what it is? Like if there's an accident, right? You don't necessarily have to help someone. And if you help someone and something happens, you could be sued by them. So, you think of a car accident. Is it Good Samaritan law? I think that's what it's called. So there's a car accident and you go and, the car's on fire and you go to take the person out of the car so they don't, and they end up somehow severing their spinal column. You could be sued. And I kind of think of it like that. Your intent is not to cause what you did. It was to save their life. And that analogy is probably a little bit like way too extreme for like what I'm talking about, but it has the same baseline. Team Brit says, I usually just ignore things unless someone is going to be harmed in real life. Just a tiny part of most people's lives, and family first for me always. Same. Oh, how did that comment just pop up? I didn't click on it. That was weird. Oh, because I'm in the wrong screen. Oh my gosh. Cash says, I speak out if useful, the bystander effect. Okay. TLC says, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right, the whole catch-22. And like I said, I don't like confrontation. So if I think something I'm going to say is going to I don't know the word. Like if I think that what I'm going to say is going to either be taken the wrong way or it's going to insult someone, because, I think we all have people in our lives where they're always right. Regardless of what you say to them. Nope, that's not true. Even if you just use Google and you're like, "Look, I just looked it up. This is what happened." And they'll still say, "No, you're wrong. You're wrong." So it's like, do you say it knowing that conflict may ensue, or you just say nothing to, like, just let them think what they're going to think. Like if they want to think it, go right ahead. For me, it's like if someone's saying something incorrect, I want them to be saying the right thing. I don't want them to be saying the wrong thing. But then there's other situations in life where you realize that the person may know that what they're saying is incorrect, but they don't care. So there's all these different situations that I can think of, talking to people throughout even my career. There are some people that I've worked with where they don't care if they're right or wrong. They only care that what they're doing is what they think should be done. So what do you do in those situations? I mean, personally, when it comes to like coworkers, I would just be quiet. I wouldn't say anything. I would just be like, okay, let them look like an idiot. I'm just trying to help. That's the thing I say a lot, is I was just trying to help. And, a lot of the times it's received as trying to tell someone how to live their life, telling someone what to do. No, I'm just trying to be helpful. And, you don't have to take my help. You don't have to take my advisement. I'm just saying, like, this is how I would see it from an outside perspective. Cash says, Philip Zimbardo, TED Talk, The Philosophy of Evil is a useful thing. Okay, so let me write that down. That seems really deep, too. The Philosophy of Evil. Here, I was just watching Medea. I mean, that's a huge difference from Philip Zimbardo. I've been watching a lot of different things as of late. Hey, JS, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. I did stop into Kit's quick just to hit the like button earlier. I was glad to see she was live. Lunatic says, those people are pretending to be one thing, but revealing themselves a disgrace in the process, knowing they're lying. They know they're lying, but they just keep lying. Picks up Rick. I heard a story about bricks today, too. I don't know how true that is. I mean, people throwing bricks at each other. I'd like to see that evidence. But sometimes, though, Lunatic, I think sometimes people don't realize they're lying. Like, they're so enmeshed in their own fairy tale. Let's use the word fairy tale. They're so enmeshed in their own fairy tale and their distorted reality that they don't think they're lying. They think what they're saying is true. And, I feel like it's kind of the way I would describe it, because I feel like I've been in that situation before. I would describe it as, when you get really sick, right? You have like the head cold. I had pneumonia several years ago, and I didn't realize I had pneumonia, and I was working. I just worked through it. And I realized after, being or getting it out of my system and being back to normal, my brain felt so much clearer. That's how I would think of it, is that you get so into what you're doing that you don't realize that it's not real. And I guess that would be like it would become delusional. I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not the DSM-4. I don't know. Hold on a second. I just wanted to make sure I didn't need to. I see a message coming in. I just want to make sure I'm not missing something. I am not. Okay. JS says, some people can't drop it. They always have to be right. I may not always be right, but I'm never wrong. Isn't that is quite manipulative, isn't it? I may not always be right, but I'm never wrong. Huh. so that's kind of like, well, isn't that what they would call an oxymoron? Because if you're not always right, then you're sometimes wrong. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Steph says, there are some that turn every piece of feedback as a message that they are wrong, not always the case. PSA. Cash says, I will risk embarrassment, quote, interfering in a situation if can save another. 1,000 times you're wrong, but sometimes just once you are right and save a person. That is true. I always hear, if you see something, say something. And especially when it comes to school violence, like school shooters, or, somebody might see something. Like I think of Colt Gray. People saw things that were not right. So his teacher saw that he had this poster board that was sticking out of a backpack, but it seemed really heavy. Why would it be heavy just having, a couple of books and a poster board in it? And so she said something, and sure enough, he had an AR style rifle. If she hadn't said anything, I don't know if it would have been worse or not. It was worse as it was, but I'd rather be wrong than have something serious happen. You're right. Oh, I missed your intro comment. Let me see. I'm going to scroll up quick and see if I can find it. I don't know how far. I see. Thanks, y'all. Love you. Oh, trying to make an entrance. Okay, so let me. Oh, here. I found it. So wait a minute. You're not an actual celebrity and you don't love me in real life? I'm gutted. I mean, I appreciate you and I'm very happy you're here. Yeah. I mean, and you have, you learn to care about people, and there's some relationships that, I mean, just, I don't know. To call something a fairy tale when it clearly isn't is the fairy tale. Like you're living in La La Land. And, some people just need to deny things to make things easier to deal with. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a psychologist. I'm just going by my opinion. JS says, my psycho mom would create whole narratives in her head, carved in stone. I could show absolute proof she is wrong, and she still wouldn't budge. All right, so just a few more minutes, and then I am going to wrap this up. Doodle says, people have the right to live in any bubble they choose. Your judgments are your guides for your life, not mine. Good perspective. But what if that person, so even Doodles, if that person was, say, a family member or a close friend, and the bubble affected you personally, would you feel the same way? Just curious. Hey, Bob, thanks for being here. A local school had a parent see something and said something. It prevented a planned school shooting that for that Friday, April of this year. Yeah. I mean, you just say something. See it. Oh, Team Britt, how'd you change your name already? You must have special powers. Oversimplification quills the internal pain of the loss that is inevitably felt. That's a mouthful. All right, so I think that's all I've got. I just wanted to come on and talk about. Let me just double check because I don't know. Oh shoot! And I closed the freaking window. When I don't think I actually said what parasocial by itself meant. Let's see. Okay, so parasocial, I did not say. So I'll just finish with this because at the beginning we talked about what fairy tales were, what parasocial fairy tales were, but parasocial as an overarching concept. A parasocial relationship is a one-sided emotional bond where you feel a deep connection or friendship with someone you don't actually know, like a celebrity, influencer, or fictional character. Okay, so it's kind of the same thing as a parasocial fairy tale. While you invest time and emotion into them, they are entirely unaware of your existence. So when you talk about parasocial relationships, like I know that JS exists. I know that Team Brit exists. I only know that they exist by who they are in my chat. I don't know them in real life. I don't know who they really are. But I know they exist because they're in my chat. So when you say that something's parasocial, that's not true, especially when you've had a relationship outside of YouTube or you've talked outside of YouTube. Like all of my mods, I talk to them outside of YouTube. I know things about them that they've shared with me. I've shared things with them. So, I mean, I know they exist. So that's not parasocial, that's interpersonal because we have that two-way communication. Whether or not what they say is true or not, that's, a different story. But I trust them. So, and actually, this is interesting. The origin of parasocial relationship was identified in the 1950s with early television. These bonds occur naturally when a public figure speaks directly to an audience, creating a, quote, illusion of intimacy. Social media, podcasts, live streaming, and even AI chatbots have supercharged parasocial connections by giving us constant, seemingly personal access to creators' daily lives. The benefits, for many, these bonds provide a genuine sense of community, reduce loneliness, and can offer comfort during stressful times. I agree with that. The drawbacks, because the connection lacks reciprocity, it can sometimes lead to unhealthy isolation, unrealistic expectations for real-life relationships, or distress if an influencer's life changes unexpectedly. I did not know that. The 1950s. And, I had actually mentioned that to my therapist about parasocial, and she's like, I've never heard that word before. What is it? And I'm like, what? And now that I know that it existed back in the 1950s, how would, I had never heard it, so I guess I can't blame them. But, yeah. Marie says, I've never met Emmy, but I trust her very much. I feel our friendship is very real. Yeah, we've shared stuff with each other, and, I have to trust that, the way to find out if you can trust someone is to tell them something and see if someone else finds out. nothing too deep, but if you tell them something and then someone else mentions it, or you're like, wait a minute. Pookie says, my little brother was so pissed that I didn't cry. Oh, wait, I missed something. Let me scroll up. Oh, here. Pookie says, I had over a decade to mourn the loss of my mom before she died. My little brother was so pissed that I didn't cry at the funeral. He quit talking to me almost 4 years ago. Oh my goodness, that's so sad. When my grandpa died, my dad's father died when I was 10. And I mean, obviously I knew he was dead. I knew he wasn't coming back, but I didn't cry either. I remember my grandma's sister, my grandma's youngest sister. I rode in one of the cars with her, and we were driving to the burial, and that's when it hit me. That's when it hit me that my grandpa wasn't coming back. So, I mean, I went days without crying because the full gravity of the situation I couldn't understand until the very last, 30 minutes or so. Everybody grieves differently, and as much as people don't think, like that person that came in saying I'm a freaking weirdo, like if you're friends with someone for 3 years and you talk every day, like all day, every day, well, majority of days, there were a few days that I don't think we spoke, because we started emailing. But when someone's a part of your life for a significant amount of time, that's a huge, huge loss. Regardless of if the person is still on earth or not, it's still a huge change in your life. So if I'm weird because I'm grieving, then I'm weird. I'm weird. And maybe people don't talk about it, but I think of, some of the other relationships that I've seen while being on YouTube, that, friendships that have just, I guess, fallen apart. And I would think that they would be grieving those situations too, because you connect with people. And when you hear, or, you get a clip of someone saying that it was just a fairy tale, that it didn't exist. Yes, it did. It did exist. So keep lying to yourself, lying to whomever. And if it was a fairy tale, if it wasn't real, show the receipts. Show the receipts, because seems like a lot of people need to show receipts. So where's the receipts that this was all make-believe? And with that, everyone, I am out of here. If you have not hit the like, please do so on your way out. I did see that they're getting rid of the dislike on shorts. I'm not sure about live streams or videos, but hit the like or dislike, whatever you may feel like today. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, that would also be a cool way to support this channel. I am almost to the hours I need to monetize. Not that I don't know if I'm going to monetize this channel, because I like playing music and stuff like that. Although my other channel, I don't monetize stuff either. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not in a big hurry. I go live here once a week. So it's not like, it's going to happen anytime soon. So, thanks, Cuddle. You too. So with that being said, have a great rest of your night, day, morning, wherever you may be. And until next time, y'all, I will see you on the flip side. And I did it again. Damn it. All right, starting over. Emmy, get your shit together. All right. And I did it again. And now you can hear me swearing and carrying on. Okay. Now I'm out of here. Have a great night, y'all.
Hate to give the satisfaction asking how you're doing now. How's the castle built of people you pretend to care about? Just what you wanted. Look at you, cool guy, you got it. I see the parties and diamonds. Sometimes when I close my eyes, 6 months of torture you sold to some forbidden paradise. I loved you truly. You gotta laugh at the stupidity, 'cause I've made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine. I should have known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you sold me for cards, you sunk your teeth into me. Bloodsucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire. And every girl I ever talked to told me you were bad news. You called them crazy. God, I hate the way I called them crazy too. You're so convincing. How do you lie without flinching? Oh, what a mesmerizing, paralyzing, fucked up little thrill. Can't figure out just how you do it, and God knows I never will. And for me and not her, 'cause girls your age know better. I've made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine. I should have known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you sold me for parts as you sunk your teeth into me. Bloodsucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire. You said it was true love, but wouldn't that be hard? You can't love anyone, 'cause that would mean you had a heart. I tried to help you out, now I know that I can't, 'cause how you think's the kind of thing I'll never understand. I've made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine. I should have known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you sold me for parts as you sunk your teeth into me. Bloodsucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire.